What's happening, family? What's happening? Had a little behind the scenes magic going on there. Good to see y'all, man. Thank y'all for being a part of this. We're going to try to do what we can to make this um, an intriguing and inviting show. I want to tell you, thank y'all for being a part of this. This is our first show. We're going to fix some things, but we're just grateful that you all decided to join us. We're going to have some conversation. We just want to have some dialogue with you this morning. And before we get into it, though, I want to tell you really thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully, we can spark some conversation around our topic today. We're just grateful for everybody. We're going to have a fun show. It's only 30 minutes, so give me 30 minutes of your time. Thank all of you. We're going to do some giveaways while we're here. So whenever you hear our magic phrase, which will be eerie silence, if you will DM the show, if you will DM us, we will get your and DM us your name and your mailing address. We'll make sure you get a copy of two books that we're giving away today, and we'll talk about that later on in the show. The other thing is we're going to spotlight some business owners today for the work that they're doing. They have created some alternate streams of income in COVID, and so we want to be able to support them in this time. And so we're just grateful for y'all joining us, for y'all being with us this morning. And we're going to launch right into it. And so our premiere episode, our premiere conversation this morning is really about Ahmaud Arbery and the tragic killing that happened over in Brunswick, Georgia, which is not too far from where I am in Charleston, South Carolina. And I'm familiar with the Glenn County area because I'm from South Georgia, so I'm familiar with Waycross and Brunswick and all of those. But we need to talk about this because this killing happened on February 23rd. Today is May 8th, and his murderers were just arrested yesterday. And what I want to talk to us about is not only the fact that it took so long for them to be arrested, but the fact that the place where people once went to get all of their news, the place where they always went to get comfort, the place where they always went to get some reprieve, the place where they always thought that they could hear a just and right word, not just from the Lord, but from those who have been empowered by God. They thought that they would get something, and they haven't heard anything. And so we want to talk about it. So let me just be upfront with you. I'm mad. Totally, I'm upset. I saw the video. I was upset to the point, and I just want to be real with you, if you will allow me this opportunity. I was upset to the point that I was like, man, why haven't they set Brunswick on fire? This guy was killed February 23rd. It's now May. It's been over a month and a half, and they still have not even as much as gotten a mugshot from the guys that killed him. And so my immediate reaction, my flesh reaction, me being human and a black man in this time, my first thought was, why have they not set this place on fire? And so, I'm dealing with those emotions. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. Why has nobody said anything? And it was just curious to me. And so, I think the best way for us to deal with these type of problems really is for us to try to talk through them, because if we keep this emotion pinned up, if we just sit on this emotion, it will cause us more despair than we need. So let's talk about this. Let's look at this. February 23rd, Ahmaud Arbery is doing his normal routine of jogging. Apparently he was an exercise enthusiast. He liked to jog. From all accounts, this was part of who he was. This was what he did. And so he's jogging, and he goes through a neighborhood that happens to be predominantly black. And apparently, in this neighborhood, there is some home construction going on. And so, on his route of running, on his route of jogging, he decides to take a look in one of the homes that's under construction. He didn't go in; he just happens to look in. And allegedly, in this neighborhood, there have been some break-ins. And so, as with all of us, that people that look like me, as with all of us, we fit the description. And so, for them, Ahmaud fit the description of the person who has been burglarizing their neighborhood. So, two citizens originally, and then a third joins this posse. They decide that they're going to take matters into their own hand. Does this almost not sound like Trayvon Martin being relived again? So these guys decide that they're going to take matters into their own hands. And so what they decide is, because we are trying to protect our neighborhood, we'll catch up with this burglar. We'll catch up with this person who is threatening our neighborhood, who is causing this problem because he's out of place. He does not belong here. I need you all to understand that even still in these not yet United States, there is a segment that still believes that we have a place that we belong. So he's out of place, and again he's tired, like he is on a run. And so they decide to get in front of him. They block the road, and if you see the video, they are watching him come up the road. And when he approaches this truck, I need you to see this now. There is a fellow that is standing in the bed of the truck with a pistol. And then there is a guy that's outside of the truck that has a rifle. Ahmaud sees this scene and he's on a run again, just exercising, not causing any trouble. He hadn't done anything. His only sin at this point is his skin. His skin is his sin, right? So he is running in this neighborhood. He sees the truck, not trying to have a confrontation. He runs around the truck. When he runs around the truck, from the angle of the video I saw, the guy in the back of the truck shoots at him in the back. Does he hit him? I cannot say, but he does fire a shot from what I saw. So now that he's been fired upon, he sees another guy with a rifle, and he decides that he is not going to let this guy just shoot me. You already shot at me from the back of the truck, so I'm not going to allow you with a rifle to shoot me point blank range. I got to defend myself. And so he grabs the guy's rifle, trying to get it away from, because he is fearing. Let's be honest about this. When you see the video, Ahmaud is the one that's fearing for his life. And so he tries to take the rifle from him, but the guy decides to pull the trigger and hits Ahmaud with a rifle point blank range. And then they go off camera, and then you hear another shot ring out. And then that's when you see Ahmaud run back into the street, and he collapses right there in the street. Here he is, an African-American male. And I just want us to be real. I want us to have some serious conversation about this. He is living in a country upon whose blood, sweat, and tears of the black people this country was built. That they have what they have because we were the labor. You understand what I'm saying? And I want you to understand that what happened to him in Brunswick, Georgia, is no different than what would have happened in Georgia in 19 32, 1935, 1965. Here it is, 2020, and they are still lynching black people in broad daylight. And here it is, the audience were the people that lived in the street, and there was even a guy so callous as to capture it on camera as if it were nothing. He died in the middle of a street in a city in America like a dog that did not have an owner. Not even, they didn't even have the dignity, to treat him like a human. But can I just want to be honest on this thing. I just want us to have some serious conversation. They've always treated us like we were less than human. Because see, the premise was when we entered the shores, we were property. So we are at their disposal, so they believe anyway. And what bothers me about this is, now the news is they are, they've been arrested. The people that did this to them, they've been arrested. But if we're going to be honest, if that video had not surfaced, if nobody would have raised all this fuss about this video, they never would have arrested those fellas. Those guys would still be free right now. Because if we're honest about this, the only reason they were moved to action was because they had been caught, and that's what baffles me about this. Because what happens is with us, and we've got to be careful, family, because see, we will start to celebrate the fact that they have been arrested. But can I tell you, we've seen this before. This is nothing new for us. This is Groundhog's Day all over again. We've seen this. They get arrested, but just because they get arrested does not mean that there's an indictment. And if they do get indicted, there's no guarantee that they'll be found guilty by a jury of their peers. What's funny to me about this, and it hurt. I'm laughing to keep from crying, because honestly, I'm upset about this thing. Is when they get a jury of their peers, it is made up of people that looks like them. When we get a jury of our peers, it is made up of people that looks like them. And so the conviction rate for us in matters like this is much higher than it is for them. And so this is nothing new for us. We've seen this before. So don't get fooled by the banana in the tailpipe and think, oh man, now that they've been arrested, we can celebrate. No. We've done that. We've seen that. We understand how that happens. An arrest does not mean there's an indictment, and an indictment does not mean there is guilt. So do not get fooled by that at all. And so they, now they've arrested these guys, and for some reason the state of Georgia believes that, oh, we should just celebrate this thing. But I got news for you, that there's no cause for celebration right now. Let me take a small break right here and tell you, if you want to join the conversation and you're on camera, you can. I'm putting the link in here for you. You can meet me right there. You can join the conversation. If you've got your camera, you can click the link, and I'll pull you in, man, and you can come and be with us. And so, because I don't want to be the only voice heard. And so what happens is, again, we have to understand that this is ingrained in the fabric of what America is. Don't get fooled by the fact that the flag is red, white, and blue. And I say this as a person who has served in the military, who has worn that flag on my arm, and has served in foreign countries, fighting our nation's wars. That blood, regardless of what you may believe, that red, and I know what they told y'all in school, but that red there really represents to me the blood that was spilled by not the soldiers, but by the black people that helped uplift this country, that helped promote this country, that helped this country get into the economic situation that is in. And can you believe that we have helped them to build an economic society where they can prosper, and they're still trying to lock us out? So much so that they are killing us in the street. And let me help you understand something about this American system. Let me help you understand something. And this is from a person who is proud. Don't get it, don't do please do not get it twisted. I am proud to be an American. There is nowhere else that I would rather be. But uh, don't forget that we came to this country uh, as property. And so when they see us now, the idea is that we are still property, and they can do to us whatever they desire, whatever they want. They don't have to, they don't treat us like humans. They don't treat us as persons. I mean, when you look at it, think about it. When you're out in the public, do you think that they really see us? Or are they looking past us, or are they looking through us? And so when they saw Ahmaud, it did not catch me by surprise that they saw him as somebody who fit the description, because this is what I know, and I said this earlier. As African American men, we will always fit the description because we are always seen as suspects. And if we are not in our place, then we are always up to no good in their minds. And so let me tell you, as I was alluding to about this American system, don't be fooled, folks. The justice system is Americanized. The economic system is Americanized. And I'm getting ready to hurt some of y'all's feelings, but I need you to hear me very well. The church is Americanized. That's why, eerily, the church has been silent about this issue. I don't understand how in the world that a place that was once the hub, the bastion of safety, the place where black people could go when they were looking for justice, the place that they would go, that they would run to, is the church. And now when they were looking for news from the church, when they were looking for help from the church, the place that they always looked to, now it seems as though we've put a closed sign on the building. We've put a closed sign on the church, and nobody can hear a word from the church. The church has been silent, and it is a travesty in America that we have not said anything. And what bothers me about that is because when I read about the ministry of Jesus, I recall one day that he goes to the synagogue, and he goes to the synagogue in his hometown. He goes to the synagogue, and this is what I love about this. And this is in Matthew chapter 5. He is the guest speaker that day. He goes there and he picks up a scroll, or rather, the scroll is handed to him. And the scroll that is handed to him is from Isaiah. And he reads from Isaiah, where it says that he has come to help the poor. He has come to give recovery of sight to the blind. He has come to free the oppressed. And so he now is laying out for us and for them the crux of his ministry, where he has come to help the disenfranchised. He has come to help those who are on the margins of society, the people that they have thrown away. Jesus says, those are the people that I've come to let them know that they have a place. They may not have a place in the Roman kingdom. They may not have a place in the American government, but they have a place in my government. They have a place in my kingdom. And if they will come and submit to my kingdom, then I will lift them above all other persons. It amazes me that we consider God as our head. We consider Christ as our head. We consider Christ as our groom. We consider him as our savior, but yet the message he preached, we've become silent about. Now, you've got to help me understand, how is it that we can consider ourselves to be obedient to our head, yet we won't preach the message that he preaches? We won't talk about what he talks about. We won't help the people that he decides that he will help. No, instead, we want to decide that we don't have anything for them, that we can't say anything to those persons. Hey, Trey, good to see you, man. Come on in, talk to me. Let me hear what you're saying, man. Talk to me. Thank you, sir. Go ahead. I can hear you, man. Yeah, go ahead. Show you right. So my question to you isn't, because you make a good point. How do we get persons like, you are talking about it, I'm talking about it, there are some other guys that we know that are talking about it, but it's not enough. Because let me tell you this, let me ask you this, and think on this. If the people that don't look like us but look like the persons that killed Ahmaud never say anything, how can the church progress? Whoa, whoa. Mm. Yeah, yeah. So people are they're not. Um, they, I believe that people are to the point where they're starting not to rely on the church anymore, because they already know that we ain't gonna say nothing. And if I could be real honest right in here, our fellowship, the body of churches that we are a part of, we're always late to the party. You understand what I'm saying? By the time this is over, by the time, if there is a conviction, if these fellows do, go to prison, we'll show up then and say, "Oh, what about this?" And not to take it away from both of them, John, because he was our brother in Christ. We loved him, but that was the only time that I can remember where the church as a whole really got involved in a system of injustice. Other than that, we really did not get involved. Once we saw her get some level of justice, then we went right back to doing what we normally do. Now we have an opportunity to speak up again. And my question is the church in position, or because he's not, because we don't know that he's a member of our fellowship, we don't have a responsibility to talk about him? But to me, he's a human, so we should say something, yes? So that. Mhm. Right, right. So right. Sure. Right. Right. So they don't say anything in this moment, and um like you said, they will speak out on abortion. They will speak out on um, um, oh man, other things. But when it comes, and the reason why they won't speak out is because the victim does not look like them, so it doesn't really touch them. So I don't really have I don't really have any connection to that person. Now, it would seem that the connection would be that we're all human. That seems to me that that would be the connection. But because they don't have a connection, they won't say anything. Carlos, man, good point. That Carlos says we have no influence on a regular day because we're always so busy trying to be exclusive. He says our sanctification is not an excuse for exclusivity. I think he I think he has a point. Uh, um, because what happens is, man, and we have 3 minutes, right? So I may have to do this again, but he's right. We have put ourselves on an island so much that we've excluded ourselves from the rest of the world. And so when we finally do try to speak, we've been locked in this island for so long, and we've built these walls around us that even if we do say something, people ain't paying attention to us no way. So the question becomes, how do we shift back to the influence that we should have so that we can be a voice? Hmm. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think you make a good point as well. We have largely been quiet on every other thing. So, and really, if we're honest, the noise that we have been making, it has been to tear each other down. So now, it reminds me of a story I heard about this guy, this lifeguard, and I got like 2 minutes of this lifeguard that I heard. He's going out and he's trying to save people, and so he goes to save this one person, and as he grabs the person's arms comes off, and so then he tries to grab the person's leg, and the person's leg comes off. And so eventually he's grabbing for all these parts, and this person drowns. And so he goes back to shore, and his boss pulls him in and says, "Hey man, I'm gonna have to let you go because a person drowned on your watch, and your job is to save people from drowning." And so then the lifeguard says, "Well, my question is, how am I supposed to save them when they won't stay together?" So the question becomes, how are we supposed to save the world? How are we supposed to help the world stay saved when we won't even stick together? Listen, I got to go, man. I appreciate you for being part of this dialogue. I appreciate y'all for being a part of this dialogue. I pray that this has helped y'all in some small way. We will continue this conversation. I don't know. We'll probably pick this up again next Friday. I want to thank you, Trey, for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for calling in. I want y'all to know that we absolutely love you. I got some giveaways to give away, so y'all DM me. I need 3 people. I don't care who you are. DM me your email address, your telephone. I'm sorry, your address, your mailing address, and your name. And I'm going to give you a copy of Amar Sahili's Eerie Silence. I think that is a good book. And Trey, I'm gonna make sure you get one, man, for being a part of this. Thank you for coming in. I'll make sure you get one, man. Bless y'all. Thank y'all for being a part of this, and we'll see y'all next time. God bless y'all. All right, man.